years, I've been supplying trained birds to programs at zoos, parks, aquariums, and fairs around the world. And I do have a big facility back in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's called Avian Earth, and it's almost 2 acres of nothing but birds. In fact, we take care of about 300 birds on an average day. Now that includes our housing for our performing birds because we don't bring them out on the road for very long. We also have our endangered species breeding program based there. Plus, we just reopened our wild bird hospital, mostly for eagles and ravens, but we take care of all kinds of things. So it keeps me pretty busy, and in fact, this show is actually supporting our wild bird hospital operations. So thank you for coming, allowing me to do all the work I do when I'm not out there on the stage. Now, I know I went around and talked to a lot of people along the fence. Just make sure during the show, like we don't set drinks against the fence. Can we pull that drink to the side? There we go. If you're sitting down, make sure you're an arm's length away from the fence. If you're standing up, 2 arms lengths away. Over the years, the fence has become their safety zone, their force field. And if they think somebody's breaching the force field, they'll stop the show and just stare at them and say, are they coming through? Are they coming through? So yeah, I want to keep their focus on their behaviors so that they have an easier time doing the show, and then we get to see a better show. So that's my job, to be the shock absorber between their eyes and the real world. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first bird I'm going to bring out for you guys is a type of bird I love having in the shows because of the important role these birds play for our environment. You see, by eating carrion or dead animal carcasses, vultures help to reduce the amount of decay and bacteria across the countryside. That way other animals don't come along and try to eat it because they could get sick or even die from it. We have 2 types of vultures in the U.S. and both are found here in North Carolina. Now I got to move you away from the fence. There we go. That corner is a real sensitive spot when the birds come out. And we have 2 types of vultures. Both are found here in North Carolina. Now the ones that are the easiest to spot are the turkey vultures. And the reason is because turkey vultures have a fantastic sense of smell. They can detect the gas coming off of a carcass from up to a half mile away. So when they're out looking for food, they're often in the air circling and soaring. Makes it easy to see them. Now during the summers especially, we'll get visited by the black vultures. Now black vultures, like most birds in the world, have no sense of smell. So when they're out looking for food, they're often down on the ground, foraging around. Makes it harder to see them. But you're going to have an easy time seeing my black vulture. Now he is 6 years old and his name is Gomez.
Oh, baby.
Now it's easy to see why they're called black vultures. All black except for the white stripes on the outer flight feathers. Now what you can't quite see is how smart these birds are. Black vultures live in some very challenging environments. Large urban areas that include Atlanta, Orlando, Miami, all places where the fields keep getting smaller, parking lots keep getting bigger. These guys have to be more and more creative on how they find their foods. In fact, some black vultures have learned how to gang up and attack animals that are sick or injured and help them to become vulture food a little bit faster. Now, if it seems like Gomez is super tame, yeah, he is. I wish it wasn't that way, but he was originally found as a baby bird right here in North Carolina. And I know the people that found him, they wanted to help, but unfortunately, they thought they could do it themselves. So they decided to take him home until he was old enough to fly. Now, the real problem is they were hand feeding him. You see, whenever you hand raise a baby bird, doesn't matter what type of bird it is, that changes their understanding of how the world works. In this case, when he was finally old enough to fly away, he thought he's supposed to stick with humans. So he went right to the nearest park and started going from picnic table to picnic table asking people for food. Well, that's dangerous for both the bird and the people, so he got captured again. We're not done yet. He got captured by a game warden who took him to a proper raptor rehabilitation center. Actually, it's one in north of Charlotte called the Carolina Raptor Center. Now, they have a big enclosure that's just for vultures healing from injuries. And they thought if they put Gomez in with those birds, he could learn to be wild again. But it didn't work. He just sat by the doorway cowering until the staff came and got him back out of there. Not yet. That's when they realized he's never going to make it on his own. So they sent him to me so that I could show you guys the vultures are not ugly and disgusting. Not yet. They can be super smart, and again, they play that important role as nature's garbage men. Gomez, you gotta stop timing my speeches, buddy. All right. This is the cue. Now you can exit. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Gomez. There you go, buddy. Good job. Now next I want you guys to meet a bird that was given to me by the first friends that I made when I moved to Las Vegas many years ago, and that was Siegfried and Roy. Now they had originally been given a pair of these birds, but very quickly came to realize that training raptors and training tigers is very opposite approaches. So they were happy when they met me, so they could pass the birds along, let me train them and share them with other people. Now this is a smaller species of eagle than you might expect. She weighs less than 7 pounds and has a wingspan of only a little more than 5 feet. Now her name is Sheba, and she is a bateleur eagle. Now actually she's one of only 20 bateleurs here in the U.S. and there's only just stay still, let me come by you, there we go. Only thought to be a few thousand of these birds left in the wilds of Africa. They're found in Tanzania, South Africa, Mozambique, and the Republic of Zimbabwe. In the wild, they eat a variety of things, including venomous snakes like cobras, but they can also catch bats in midair. Maybe that's because bateleurs can hit speeds of up to 160 miles per hour in flight, and that's enough to make them one of the fastest flying eagles in the entire world. But even at their cruise speed, which is closer to about 45 miles an hour, as they're flying, they will actually rock their wings very fast from side to side. It's how they compensate when they're moving fast through the wind. But that motion also looks like a tightrope walker in a circus. And sometimes the birds will flip all the way over into a full barrel roll. You see, all these behaviors is how they got the name bateleur. It's the French word for tumbler or acrobat. All right, I don't know if the breeze is going to work against us or not, but I know you like doing it from the left. We can try from the left. Maybe wind will give us a break here. All right. Now, bateleurs are also very aggressive birds by nature. This helps them in the wild with hunting snakes, but in our care, it can make them a little difficult to work with. You see, I do still have the male that Siegfried and Roy gave me. His name is Sinbad, and he's also about 41 years old now. But every time I try to put the two together, Sheba tries to kill Sinbad, and then she tries to eat him. It's not a good breeding program. But we do keep them in side-by-side flight enclosures when they're both at home. And since bateleurs can live to be into their early 50s, like most species of eagles in captivity, in fact, they all live about twice as long as they would in the wild. So there's a little bit of time. Maybe we can get these two together. For now, I'm just happy that she's willing to be part of my program. For the last 35 years, she's been doing shows with me, and we have traveled very extensively. 49 states, 3 different countries, lots of TV shows, Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, Leno, Letterman, back in the day, yeah. And she even got us invited to the White House. We went out for this Aeronautics Awards evening, and at the party afterwards, ended up meeting this nice older gentleman, started joking around how this is his new eagle, and he can land this eagle. And it took me about 25 minutes before I figured out it was astronaut Buzz Aldrin. So pretty crazy stuff. Now we have a nice picture of the 3 of us and his business card in the frame. So pretty cool. Pretty good stuff for being a cool, unusual, exotic, endangered species. Well, let's see if we can do a short flight. I feel the breeze coming up a little bit. That's probably why she's turning her back on me. Here. Yes. I know, I should have done this the first time. Just step up. Just step up. Just step up. There we go. There's a reason why I put this equipment on both sides of the stage. Here, right here. There we go. She's not used to doing it from this side, so she starts looking at me like I'm doing the show wrong. But the birds have to fly into the wind. That's how they get lift and control. When we get a short flight going from here, she's still trying to figure out what I just did. Sheba, come on, babe. Come on, look, I cut down the distance a lot. Come on. Come on. I know, yeah, those are people on this side too, yeah. Shiba. As long as we do the behaviors, it's fine with me. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this again is Shiba by Katsulariki. There you go.